Good morning to you on this Monday morning. It is 6:59 here on the East Coast. I'm Anne-Marie Green. Well, if you thought 2020 was a marathon, it's quickly turning into a sprint with Election Day less than 24 hours away. It's the final countdown. Just 1 day left to campaign. President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden are pulling out all the stops. The former vice president is concentrating on Pennsylvania and Ohio today. Our CBS News Battleground Tracker shows a close race in both states. Meanwhile, the president plans to hold 5 rallies in 4 states today: North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Skyler Henry is following both campaigns for us. Skyler, President Trump is calling for a quick tally of votes. What was he saying over the weekend about this?
Well, hey, Anne-Marie, good morning to you. The president said that he wants all of the votes counted on election night. Well, that has never been the case. And pandemic aside, it's historically speaking, at least, it's taken states several days to tally up all of their final votes. But in this final push, we're going to see 2 different stumping approaches from these 2 candidates, but they will be busy in the battleground states.
Both campaigns are confident heading into the final hours of the election.
Florida, we're looking very good. If you look at Iowa, we're looking very good.
2 more days, we can put an end to this presidency that has, from the very beginning, sought to divide us.
At a midnight rally in South Florida, President Trump said Joe Biden will ruin the economy.
This election is a choice between a crippling depression or a historic boom.
While the former vice president said the country can't recover from the coronavirus with Mr. Trump in office.
To beat the virus, we first got to beat Donald Trump.
Biden spent yesterday in Pennsylvania, a state the president won by just 44,000 votes in 2016.
President Trump is terrified of what will happen in Pennsylvania.
Nationwide, more than 93 million ballots have already been cast, with some areas seeing more votes than all of 2016.
Everyone's taking it seriously this time. Now I think everyone's saying that they want to be counted.
President Trump said he wants the vote counting to stop on Election Day.
We should know the result of the election on November 3rd, the evening of November 3rd. That's the way it's been, and that's the way it should be.
But that's not true. States continue to count votes after Election Day.
Pennsylvania has always taken a week, for example, to count military ballots.
In several Pennsylvania counties, officials won't start counting mail-in ballots until Wednesday.
So, Skyler, you or others may or may not know that I live in Pennsylvania, and over the past few weeks, it has been like, definitely like the only train stop is in Pennsylvania for the candidates. Every week there's someone else coming, and certainly today is no exception. Early voting was not that common in Pennsylvania prior to this. You needed a reason. This is the first time that you actually don't need a reason. So we have early voting. We have mail-in ballots. Now you heard in Pennsylvania the mail-in ballots will not be counted until Wednesday. So 2 questions. What sort of impact is that expected to have on, the final tally here in Pennsylvania? And also, why is Pennsylvania so important? Explain to people.
Okay, so I'll answer the second question first. Pennsylvania is important simply because they have 20 electoral votes, Anne-Marie, and I think from what you're starting to see from the former vice president is this all-out blitz from him, his running mate Kamala Harris, and their spouses today. They will be in Pennsylvania crisscrossing the state trying to sway those undecided voters and win back a state that went red in 2016. Donald Trump won that state in 2016. It's why he will be back there today as well, holding one of his rallies. I think both candidates really see the value in that state and other key battleground states, but also Joe Biden is from Pennsylvania. In many ways, he is colorfully referred to as the 3rd senator from Pennsylvania, and so this is one of those areas that he really wants to win. But in terms of that slight delay, what we're hearing is a handful of counties have simply said that they simply don't have the manpower to man a in-person election and go ahead and start tabulating some of those mail-in ballots, the process of scanning and either rejecting or accepting those ballots. And so they're saying that they're going to start that process the day after the election. But we've heard from the state's governor who said that they would like for those particular counties to start, at least in some fashion, some of those votes so that they can get a quicker number out there. Interesting to note, though, 6 of those 7 counties that have said that they are not going to start counting those mail-in votes until the day after, all of them are Republican.
Oh, that is an interesting note. I want to talk about something else too. That it's sort of stunning. But you know, you're in Washington, and I've seen something very similar here in Philadelphia. We've seen reports that some people have been boarding up their businesses in preparation for Election Day. Election Day has always been a peacefully a peaceful event. The fact that businesses are preparing essentially for the worst, I think, is a little disappointing. But what can you tell us?
Well, it's unusual to see, particularly here in D.C., but this is something that businesses around the district have been doing for the last few months, really since the unrest that happened during the early part of the summer. A lot of areas saw a lot of property damage from folks throwing rocks into windows and graffiti and things of the like, and so we started to see a lot of plywood go up in a lot of businesses around the area. But as of last week, particularly around the White House, that has certainly been the case, and as you kind of go further and further away from the White House, you see other businesses start to take note. But Lafayette Square Park, right in front of the White House, we saw significant fencing there. It's very difficult to actually get in over there as far as just journalists trying to get to the White House. It was open for a bit where people could actually get into the park and see the White House, but they stopped that maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so now I think you have a lot of businesses fearful for what may happen on election night and the days after. And so they're trying to be as best prepared as they possibly can.
Yeah. Skyler Henry, thank you so much.